James Joseph Dresnok is an American defector to North Korea, one of 6 American soldiers to defect after the Korean War. After defecting, Dresnok worked as an actor and as an English teacher in Pyongyang. He was featured on the CBS magazine program 60 Minutes on January 28, 2007, as the last United States defector alive in North Korea, and was the subject of a documentary film entitled Crossing the Line. He calls himself Joe Dresnok and has been called both James Dresnok and Joe Dresnok in news reports, sometimes both in the same report. Early life: Dresnok was born in Richmond, Virginia. His father was Joseph Dresnok. His parents divorced when he was 10 years old, and he was briefly raised by his father in Pennsylvania. His mother and younger brother Joseph Dresnok too never again came into contact with them. Dresnok was placed in a foster home, dropped out of high school, and joined the army the day after his 17th birthday. Career: Defection: Dresnok's first military service was 2 years spent in West Germany. After returning to the United States and finding out that his wife had left him for another man, he re-enlisted and was sent to South Korea. He was a private first class with a U.S. Army unit along the Korean demilitarized zone between North and South Korea in the early 1960s. Soon after his arrival, he found himself facing a court-martial for forging signatures on paperwork that gave him permission to leave the base, which, ultimately, led to his going AWOL. Unwilling to face punishment, on August 15, 1962, while his fellow soldiers were eating lunch, he ran across a minefield in broad daylight into North Korean territory, where he was quickly apprehended by North Korean soldiers. Dresnok was taken by train to Pyongyang, the North Korean capital, and interrogated. Life in North Korea: I was fed up with my childhood, my marriage, my military life, everything. I was a goon. There's only one place to go, Dresnok said in an interview. On August 15, at noon in broad daylight when everybody was eating lunch, I hit the road. Yes, I was afraid. Am I gonna live or die? And when I stepped into the minefield and I seen it with my own eyes, I started sweating. I crossed over, looking for my new life. Dresnok met Larry Allen Escher, another American defector, soon after his arrival. Eventually there were 4 of them: Escher, Jerry Parrish, Charles Robert Jenkins, and Dresnok. The men lived together and participated in several propaganda efforts on behalf of the North Korean government. They appeared on magazine covers and used loudspeakers to try to persuade more American soldiers at the border to defect. But they did not wish to remain in North Korea indefinitely at first. In 1966, the 4 men tried to leave North Korea by seeking asylum at the Soviet embassy in Pyongyang, but the embassy immediately turned them over to North Korean authorities. After that, Dresnok decided to settle in North Korea. Beginning in 1978, he was cast in several North Korean films, including the 20-part series Unsung Heroes, and became a celebrity in the country as a result. He is called Arthur by his Korean friends, after the character he played in the series. He also translated some of North Korean leader Kim Il-sung's unregistered trademark S writings into English. According to Jenkins's book The Reluctant Communist, Dresnok was something of a bully, betraying the other Americans' confidences to the North Koreans, and enthusiastically beat up Jenkins 30 or more times on the orders of their Korean handlers. In the documentary Crossing the Line, Dresnok vehemently denies these allegations. Dresnok asserts that, during the North Korean famine of the 1990s, he was always given his full food ration by the government. Why? Why do they let their own people starve to death to feed an American? He asks. The great leader has given us a special solicitude. The government is going to take care of me until my dying day. Personal life. In the United States, in Crossing the Line, Dresnok explains that after marrying an American woman at a young age, he was deployed in West Germany for 2 years while she remained in the U.S. He prided himself on truly loving her and being loyal to her. But when he returned, he found out that she was already in another relationship. He was quoted as saying, "The good thing was that she did not get pregnant by me because I had promised that I would never abandon my children." In North Korea, He has been married twice more since defecting to North Korea. The first was to a Romanian woman, Doina Bumia, with whom he had two sons, Theodore Ted Ricardo Dresnok and James Gabriel Dresnok. Bumia supposedly worked at the Romanian embassy, but some accounts claim that she never worked there and was in fact an abductee taken by the North Korean Secret Service. Jenkins's book also mentions this, but claims that she was abducted in order to be the wife of one of the American deserters. The Romanian Foreign Office's website says that in 2007 Romania asked North Korea to explain Bumia's abduction, but it did not receive an answer. Bumia died of lung cancer. After Bumia's death, Dresnok married his third wife, the daughter of a North Korean woman and a Togolese diplomat. They had a son in 2001. The family lives in a small apartment in Pyongyang, provided along with a monthly stipend by the North Korean government. Dresnok is in failing health, with a bad heart and liver, which he attributes to smoking and drinking too much. His eldest son from his second marriage, James Dresnok, was a student at Pyongyang University of Foreign Studies, where his father taught English in the 1980s. James speaks English with a Korean accent and considers himself Korean but reportedly does not wish to marry a Korean woman. James intends to enter the diplomatic service. Dresnok has stated that he intends to spend the rest of his life in North Korea, and that no amount of money could entice him back to the West. Now retired, Dresnok occasionally gives lectures in North Korea and goes fishing just to pass the time. In popular culture, Dresnok is the subject of the documentary film Crossing the Line by British filmmakers Daniel Gordon and Nicholas Bonner, which was shown at the 2007 Sundance Film Festival. He was also featured in An American in North Korea, a 2007 segment on 60 Minutes by Robert G. Anderson and Casey Morgan. Filmography, Unsung Heroes, Crossing the Line, from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. References. See also, Americans in North Korea, List of American and British defectors in the Korean War, North Korean defectors. Other defectors to North Korea, List of American and British defectors in the Korean War. The 21 Americans and 1 Briton who refused repatriation during Operation Big Switch in 1953, Larry Allen Eshier of Urbana, Illinois, deserted in May 1962 at age 19, Jerry Wayne Parrish of Morganfield, Kentucky, deserted in December 1963 at age 19, Charles Robert Jenkins in Rich Square, North Carolina, deserted on January 5, 1965 at age 24, Roy Chung, deserted in June 1979, Joseph T. White of St. Louis, Missouri, deserted in August 1982 at age 20. External links, The World, Crossing the Line audio report, Telegraph, U.S. defector says he is happier in North Korea, CBS, defector won a Euro unregistered trademark to leave N Korea for $1 billion, CBS, N Korea Euro unregistered trademark S last U.S. defector, review of Crossing the Line, 1, Doina Bumia EN, 2, Doina Bumia EN, 3, Doina Bumia RO, The Dear Leader Takes Care of Me September 9, 2008.